Alright, should be live. This morning, we're starting here in Hong Kong International, and we're going to make the jump over this straight into the Philippines, stopping at, I'm not going to pronounce it, Romeo Papa Lima, India. This is a long stretch without a reliable VOR signal to follow, so I'd broken it up to two headings in hopes of keeping track of where we are in this trip. There is a small island here, so we're going to fly fast and low in hopes that we track that as we pass over it. But starting out of Hong Kong, we'll be heading out on a heading of 125 and tracking our frequency of 114.8. We're cold and dark on the ramp. I'm going to shut up and get started, and we'll go from there. Okay. So I started on this random ramp, and it apparently loaded me into this building in some way. What a nightmare. Alright. We're just going to start at a different ramp. Maybe there were fewer buildings on this side. There we go. Less chaos immediately, I'll take that. Thought it was 114.5, was it not? One 113.2. I don't know where I got that.
Taxi for takeoff south departure. EQS 042 taxi to Enhong short of runway 07 right using taxiway Lima Lima 1.
Morning, Patty boy.
Contact tower on 118 decimal. All when ready. Taxi to an old short runway 07 right via taxiway at Lima Lima 1 kilo kilo 1 EQS 042.
How was your Sunday? I guess Monday. Are you just finishing Monday? Well, how was your Monday then? Spear fishing. That's pretty wild. Um, Yesterday was all right. I didn't really do anything. I Yeah, man, I don't know. I didn't really do anything. uh, there was a community flight that takes place every Sunday that I try to go to, but I was ready. I had ate lunch. I was ready. I was sat at my desk. I was loaded up, ready to go. About 30 minutes before it was supposed to start, and then I passed out. I just like fell asleep at my desk. Uh, so yeah, rather than going late, I was kind of bummed, and I just sat it out and went to bed. My enjoyment of my Sundays is always tempered because uh, I always get bogged down by the anxieties of the Monday following. So, like, my ideal day off is Saturday or any day where like I've finished work and I don't have to worry about work tomorrow. That kind of stuff. So, half my day yesterday was wondering how many voicemails I'd have to deal with today. Classic super long taxiways in Asia. I can never seem to pick a parking spot that's like right near where I'm going to take off. It's always 5 minutes of Grand Theft Auto before I get to fly anywhere. sent a call out on Discord. I might have someone join me here in voice chat shortly. The weather's nice in Hong Kong today. There's no rain to deal with. I wonder if this is the end of my day or the beginning. Presumably the end. Just set this to morning. I said yesterday on stream that I was going to check out the Mugs add-ons, mess with my UI, and I never did any of that. I definitely should have. Maybe that would have kept me awake.
Tower EQS 042 at runway 07 right, ready for departure. Departure to the south.
EQS 042 altimeter tree, 0.30 with 353 at 15. Traffic considered on final. South departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 07 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 07 right, EQS 042.
Right. Let's get off the ground before we run into this traffic. We're pretty much ready for takeoff anyway. We've got frequencies set, heading set, flaps are set. Let's do it. Wonder if it's windy. A lot of rudder pull. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I made him go around. Whatever, I get enough of that.
Going around Cafe 443. Cafe 443 contact Hong Kong approved on 119.1. Good day. EQS 042 continue for south departure. EQS 042 leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Tower EQS 042 frequency change.
11.1 Cafe 443.
And away we go. Head this heading until our VOR aligns a bit. Have to assume our VOR's offset somehow. From the airport, I mean.
Yo,
Hey man,
what's up?
not much. Just took off from Hong Kong International, lining up my heading before I head over that. I don't know what it's called. It's probably like the Philippine Strait or something. The body of water.
That's right, the Philippines isn't too far from. I am descending into New York.
Where'd you take off from?
Munich.
Munich? That's a long flight.
Damn.
This leg of my journey is one of the ones where I'm flying blind for quite a while. I have to track my Hong Kong frequency outbound all the way across this body of water, but I will lose it about a quarter or a third of the way there. So I have to like fly low. I kind of broke it into two legs so that I can VFR an island as I pass over it to kind of get my bearings. But
Yeah. Damn it, I hate when this thing does that. I'm trying to adjust my speed. Alright, let's go 250 for right now till we're below.
what are you flying? The 777?
Yep, the 300 ER. It finally works right. All the fuck they did, but it works right, and I'm not complaining.
Good man.
I just can't wait till PMG comes out with their 7.7 and shit. Because I know those will be fucking good.
Heavy is at flight level 250 descending 2,000 feet.
Lufthansa 342 Heavy locked. Continue to Delta Bravo Kilo.
I was tinkering around with some VR titles yesterday.
And descending 24,000 all the way down to 2,000.
I tried. Have you played VR at all?
I used to. It's not really my cup of tea per se, but I want to get back into it just for the VFR flying.
Right. I was trying. What games was I playing? Oh yeah, I picked up Skyrim VR because it's on sale, and I've got mixed feelings about it so far. And I also tried that Phasmagoria or whatever it is, that horror game. Have you played that?
That I have played. I love it.
I was just in it by myself, so I didn't really know what I was doing, but it seems like it would be a lot of fun to play with people.
Yeah. Now that, I definitely want to get another headset for it so I can play that in VR. That's the only way to play that.
Is it? I was unfamiliar with it before I got a headset. Was it available, or is it available in 2D?
Yeah. I've actually been considering getting the Oculus for when I'm like away or traveling, just to have something in VR.
The Oculus. Is that like the Quest 2, or is that a different headset?
I know there's the Quest, and I think isn't there like the Oculus Rift too?
Oh yeah, the Rift.
I don't know which one I'll end up getting.
Crap! I've already lost my VOR frequency. I was only like 40 miles out.
20,000 feet. Jesus Christ. I got a long way to descend, and here come the clouds. Actually, you know what, for the remainder of this, let's put it clear weather. I do change the weather sometimes. Mid flight, I don't use live weather.
I I'll use live weather almost exclusively, unless it's a special case like a gripper stream or something. But I'll change the time because like I can't be bothered flying in the dark in Hong Kong for weeks, right? Like,
Yeah. I guess that's one thing I do kind of like about long haul flying is I can take off, fly manually for basically the first 30 minutes till I get to cruising altitude. Then from there, usually when I fall asleep and wake up again, and I'm, on my way on approach or descent and approach, it's usually either sunrise, sunset, midday. Maybe especially with live weather, it's even better. You might fall asleep, clear skies, and you wake up in the place you're coming into the fucking thunderstorm.
well, that was my big question. It's like you fly all these long hauls. What do you do with your time for the 8 hours? Like, do you exclusively set them up and then go to bed?
No. Sometimes, like if it's like an overnight flight like this, this is about, I think it's pushing close to 8 hours now. Like it's an overnight. Like I took off at. When the fuck did I take off? Jesus Christ. I think I took off at like 6 or 6:30. Since it was technically overnight and I didn't have shit else to do, I just went to sleep and woke up a little while ago. And then sometimes I'll just like have a movie playing or whatever, music. Now for like say like the flights between Los Angeles and Dubai, those are exclusively going to sleep because like it's
I'm going to be
15
keeping an
hours.
eye on this clock here in hopes of tracking how long or how far along my leg I am. So we've got, it's a rough estimate. So I'm like kind of firmly estimating my distances here, but probably around 10 minutes or so. I'm expecting, 15 minutes probably closer from now. I'm expecting to see that island that we pass over, so that's going to be our clue. I'm currently flying into a very nice sunrise. The clouds got this cool distortion effect over the sun as it's coming over the horizon. It's quite nice.
Nice. Unfortunately, really, it's like 4 something in the morning in New York, so no sunrise for me today.
Yeah, it was sunset or pretty close to sunset when I started up here in Hong Kong, but I knew that I was going to be in the air for a while, so I scrolled her back to sunrise.
That's how you know you're hitting home track when you are passing through 10,000 feet.
When you hear Kennedy Steve yelling at you,
Man, I wish somehow they could like get him to bring his voice in.
oh man, if they had Kennedy Steve doing a voiceover for the ATC and JFK in this sim, I would not fly anywhere else, right? Like,
All of my destinations and departures will be from JFK. Like, where you flying from? Oh, I'm just flying from Dubai to JFK.
yeah,
Do you always fly from and to JFK? Hell yeah.
Tokyo to JFK. Maybe that's like maybe they thought about stuff like that and they're like, nah, we don't have the server capacity to have thousands of people in JFK at all times.
Yeah. But who knows? He might be getting at it because I know they actually are talking about how they like, regional like accents and stuff. Who knows? They might bring him on for, the American, at least, even if it's not just JFK, they might bring him on for like, the American, like,
Seems
the US.
seems like a stretch, but who knows? It'd be neat if they did. It would be a little bit of
I
fan
mean,
service.
it will make sense considering he is, like, in a sense, like an aviation icon, I guess.
I mean, sure, but so's Bitchin' Betty, and they made zero effort to put her in the Super Hornet.
Well, to be fair, that is kind of the. Well, actually, no, they could have put the effort in for that.
Oh,
But I mean, that is kind of like a
cool.
more.
My fucking sim just crashed. That's awesome.
Ain't that some shit?
Just like on its own, middle of the air, stutter, crash to desktop.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Oh, god damn it.
Trying to see where the hell am I at? JFK is right there. Oh, I just passed over Central Park. I can't miss it. It's right there.
Yeah, Central Park is pretty noticeable in
Yeah,
a
especially
in a
at
sea
night.
of buildings. Yeah, especially at night. Although I gotta say, like a lot of the skyscrapers and stuff that I've seen at night, the lights are typically off, right? Like I've tried to fly into the heart of a couple cities at night and basically couldn't do it because I couldn't see.
I know. I have the pack for New York and like the different night cities. Man, I don't know who the fuck are telling people that it doesn't do anything. It changes a whole fuck ton of a lot.
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning of that. You have something for New York that changes which?
Like it changes like the night, like when you're at night,
Hmm.
when you're flying through at night, it changes everything.
Is it similar to like the Miami pack? Is it made by the same people?
Yeah, it's like a group of like packs for different cities.
Hmm.
It changes everything. Like it goes from looking like a bland ass city to what New York would actually look like colors wise, lights wise. The buildings are actually lit up how they're supposed to be at night.
So, like, it's funny that you mentioned colors because that was one thing that I was uncertain how realistic it was. So, like, I've looked at the Miami one. That's just one that I've stumbled across. And, like, yeah, the lighting and stuff that they add looks good, but is the real city of Miami fucking, like, green and red and purple lights all over the place? Like, is that just actually how it is?
Legitimately, like I've been there before at night, pretty much, especially
Hmm.
Miami.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Like,
Like I question how realistic it is when I see all these squares and buildings lit up with all these colorful lights. But if that's legitimate, then I'm just a hermit, right? Like what do I fucking know?
I mean, nobody can really be mad because, like, you obviously, I don't know if you've ever been to Miami before, so like, who the fuck is gonna?
No, like I said, I'm a hermit. I don't go anywhere.
He's like, fuck that. I don't go anywhere.
If they don't release an add-on pack that's like my basement, then I don't know. I'm unable to determine how realistic it is.
He's like, oh shit, that's my basement.
Yeah. Orbex did a great job on the scenery in my kitchen. Really.
That's my kitchen right there.
Let's fucking go back to Hong Kong. God, that makes me mad.
Yeah, that's one thing that still is very bothersome. Stability.
I didn't have any issues until I installed the Santa Claus add-on. Like the day I installed that, I got my very first crash. So I think I'm gonna tear that shit out of my computer immediately.
Santa made everything very unlucky.
Yeah, he stuffed my stocking with coal for sure. I've got 4 hours. It's still enough to make this leg, but God, I hate having to redo 30 minutes of my friggin' flight because Microsoft's incompetent.
It's a hard knock life, man. No, why the fuck am I? Oh, that's right, because I flew out and it was storming, and I forgot to turn my wipers off.
stewardess knocks on your door. It's like, Captain, we have passengers in first class wondering what all the squeaking is.
Oh yes.
Alright.
All right, there's JFK to my what appears to be, I'm gonna say about 4 o'clock. Yeah, it's
Alright. Heading set, frequency set. I can't see my flaps lever in the dark. Flaps are set. Oxygen. Oh, I've just turned my oxygen off.
I'll control the speed myself.
Can you tell me if anti-skid is typically supposed to be on during takeoff?
Is it raining?
No, I just typically always turn it on, and I don't know if that's right or not. I mean, I'm sure it's wrong.
I do the same thing typically.
I just don't like the, I don't like the warning light, right? Like, whatever I have to do to get rid of the warning lights.
It's just like warning light. Ah. All right, here we go. I will shoot you if you do what you think you're about to do. Not you. I'm talking to you. Because why? We are not doing this right now. Get your ass back up there.
Alright, trying to fly to the Philippines round 2. I guess good luck to me. Like, I don't even know what to say. I have no course of action other than trying again. Like, I don't know what caused the crash.
EQS 042 leaving light airspace, frequency change.
I mean, that's pretty much all you can do, really.
Well, heaven forbid I've stumbled across one of those areas that just crashes no matter what.
Could also be that.
Like, it blew my mind. I know, I realize it's been fixed or something by now, but that Potomac approach in Washington,
Man,
like, what?
that's what's the worst.
Every single aircraft on any platform would crash as it flew over that friggin' river. Like, how? I just don't understand how something like that gets into the game. I mean, on a game of this scale, or a sim of this scale, if you want to get pedantic, like, I wonder how they really go around testing, right? Like, the only way you could feasibly test it thoroughly would be to script an AI to, like, simulate a landing at every airport on the planet, right?
Holy shit, bags on a monkey ass. Looks like I'm doing this on
You say you're out of gas.
Oh no, my bad. There we go. Autopilot disconnected. We're doing this fully manual, folks.
Are you actually out of fuel? You're, like, gliding in?
No,
Oh.
that was such aircraft system decided to be jackasses, so fuck it. It's not that hard though. I've learned how to control the 7.7s. How hard can a little approach really be, right?
Probably pretty difficult. I wouldn't entrust it to me.
It's just one of those things, like if we're flying like a shared cockpit, just like, nah, I think I'm gonna let you handle this landing. It's like, I did the takeoff, you do the landing. Fuck this landing. I know I'm a little shaky on it too, but that's because I have to hold the thing in a certain point.
That's because of the Parkinson's.
Maybe. No, I'm just playing. Get to line myself back. Stand by.
I can't
There
even
we go.
imagine trying to fly a plane with Parkinson's. Just the yoke just giving her.
Yeah, I think I'd rather die.
Fucking just stall horn going off.
There we go, 100. Will I land a little bit early? Yeah. But, oh no, I won't. I hit jackass spawned on the runway. You can suck my dick, woman. There we go. Welcome to New York, ladies and gentlemen. Now get the fuck off my plane. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I've been having to do manual approaches, which I really don't mind, into JFK because, and there goes the screens, get lucky. I've had to do manual approaches in JFK because for whatever reason the ILS in JFK just will not work. Tried it on like 4 different planes. It's like, nah, bro, I'm good.
I was muted there, but I've never basically done, well, not basically, I've never done an ILS approach. Um, I'll get landing clearance, and then if I end up on the correct runway, I consider it a success.
Fair enough. Can't really be mad at that. I don't know where the fuck I'm going, so I'm just gonna add some taxi to the gate.
Just lost our VOR outbound again at about 37 miles as expected, so now we wait. I'm going to keep an eye on this clock again here. So from 30 miles, that leaves us about 150 miles, and we're traveling 300 knots.
I'm gonna use the 7.4. I haven't used the 7.4 in a while. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on taxi lights. I'll use these as taxis for whatever reason.
If I remember correctly, no, I don't remember anything.
When the time dies.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, how long I should expect this island to show up. If I've got 150 miles, what it like my question, I guess, is what the shit is a knot? What is the unit of distance over time of a knot?
Let me stop there. I think knots are usually used for speed, though. That's about it.
Right, but so is kilometers per hour. But you understand how it's like distance over time equals speed, right? So what the hell is a knot? I need to know the distance over time in order to appreciate it, because I'm trying to do the conversion of 150 nautical miles.
Oh, 150 nautical miles.
At a rate of 375 knots. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to do that conversion.
375 miles. Oh, you should be reaching that in no time. I can't give you exact time, but
Like, I'm estimated like
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes or something, right?
Yeah, probably in that ballpark, between 10 to 20 minutes. So
Yeah.
don't get comfortable.
Don't get what?
Let's say if that's one of those things you're like, maybe I can just sit up here and get comfortable. No, don't get comfortable.
Yeah. Well, it's just at that point is where I'm expecting to see this island where all I really have to do is adjust my heading by 3 degrees. But it's just supposed to serve as I'm on the right track, right?
Hey, Delta, get the fuck out of the way, will you? God damn, you and your fucking A320 Oh, I forgot about that add-on. Side note, I am in Lufthansa. I'm in a Lufthansa 773. Why better not be parking me in the American terminal? I will speak to your manager about this if you have me parking in the American terminal.
Yeah, I'm sure Kennedy Steve really gives a shit about you going full blown Karen on him.
Imagine.
He'd park you in a field and you wouldn't move for a long time.
Yeah. But like if you move even an inch, you won't have your pilot's license anymore. I don't know, I think I'm just taxing through here. There's no way I'm parking here. There's no gates big enough for me. That's one thing I can say. The ATC in the sim will not park you at a gate that it knows your plane can't fit on.
Guy in Discord replying to my screenshot of the weather. I'd kind of like it. Can get to wear a jacket. Yeah, it's minus 37 Celsius, bro. You better be wearing a jacket. Like,
Jackets off.
if you aren't wearing gloves for 15 minutes, you can say goodbye to a couple fingers. Like,
Oh, hey, what do you know? Look at that. That would be an American 7-7 taking off. I don't know if that's generic or not, but that's what it's trying to do. Let me not clip my wings on this building right here that looks like it's completely outdoors.
man, at the very beginning of my stream, I loaded up on a ramp in Hong Kong, and like the the position that your plane loads in must be poorly placed or something, because my nose cone spawned inside a building and I like started glitching out and 180ing immediately upon spawning in.
It's actually really dope. I don't know if you would have a need for this add-on considering you don't really fly like airliner type stuff. But it pretty much has like as per region or airport or whatever, it'll have like static planes for the different airlines. That'll be the actual planes, not just like it's basically like the AIG.
I was going to say,
add-on.
you're talking about either the AIG add-on or the other one. There's like two that basically do the same thing as far as I can tell.
That's for traffic. This one is like for the planes that are parked at the gate.
Just like the static
Like
aircraft?
your static aircraft.
Mm.
I'm wondering why they didn't include that on the AIG. Maybe that was, I don't know. I guess that wasn't their focus. Because
Yeah.
I've seen some people use it, and I'm like, it looks kind of weird. Now you have AI planes with their like right planes and liveries, but then your static aircraft still look like the base.
I'm sure it's just a one step at a time kind of thing. Like from a development point of view, tweaking liveries that spawn on AI is a completely different section of the game as objects or assets that spawn in automatically, right? So
Yeah. I mean, I can't be too mad at that, which is it's like fully understandable. So, But it is really dope to have this add-on that I do have. It does feel a little bit better. At least when I park at a gate now, I'm not looking at like static aircraft and shit that look like jack shit.
yeah, I was saying earlier that a couple add-ons that I want to look at are the Mugs UI stuff, like being able to toggle your HUD and nameplates and stuff. I want those add-ons, stuff that makes my experience more user-friendly.
How the fuck does any pilot get this plane in here? Oh, wait, never mind. A good pilot gets the plane in there. That's the fucking pilot.
Although I was kind of looking into that Sky for Sim flypad that you can get.
Yeah.
My only real hesitancy is I don't think it adds much that I don't have access to on my second monitor. Like, it would be ideal for VR experiences when I don't have the monitor easily accessible, but
My question is, if I'm parked in here, how the fuck does that BA77, get out. What is the thought process here?
Maybe he's not getting out. Maybe that's where he's staying for a while. Maybe,
True, like, their parts longer, so they put them in the back, so that way when it's
yeah, I
time.
was gonna say, like, maybe they parked you up front because they know your departure is beforehand. I mean,
Yeah,
you don't have a departure set, so we're just making shit up. But, like,
I've seen some shit like that, like actually, like at LAX too, and I'm like, how the fuck is that gonna get out? And I'm like, wait, maybe the other planes are departing first, and they're like last that'll be leaving that gate. So before they bring anybody else in, maybe they leave out. That's the only thing I could think of.
no, no, no. What you're overlooking is that this is a video game and there's no collision, so you can just phase through things.
Oh no, I was talking about like actually like at LAX.
Oh, okay.
Like when I've flown out, like when I was left out of there sometimes, I've seen like an A3 and a 787 parked next to each other, and I'm just looking like, okay, the space for that A380 to get out is just not there. So how the fuck how the fuck are you getting out of there?
It's an airplane, man. It just flies out.
Oh hey, somebody got okay. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I didn't request that, but I'm not mad. It's not my problem. This is my parking spot right here. I don't know who's over there. Stop! Yeah, that 7-7 ain't getting past. Alright, let me go ahead and shut down engines. That would be the person next to me calling for their gate to be connected, the jetway to be connected. So that's actually kind of interesting. I forgot I have that at home too. A British Airways 7-7. Wait, shut that down. Oh wait, hit the on. There we go. This can be shut off. Fuel pumps. Oh. Wait, huh? How the fuck did I start the Ninjas with the feet? You know what? That's limited. Let's turn off CPU and turn you on.
I would expect this island to be approaching sometime in the next 5 minutes, so I've got to keep my eyes open here. The low-level clouds aren't going to assist me in this endeavor whatsoever.
Nope. I want to say, why is it so active at JFK? Then I realized it is like 5 in the morning there, so.
And it's JFK.
Yeah, and it's JFK, so like, even at low hours, it's still like cargo planes and shit coming in.
I've held my
That's
heading pretty well. I should cross right over this island.
based off the fact that a lot of these planes, what the fuck is bogging me down over there? Must be a lot of planes. Based on the fact that most of these planes are descending, it looks like from their lights, it's a lot of people coming in here. And some of these are actually players, so that's nice. Oh yeah, that's definitely a player. You're flying way too low for anything else. The AI is stupid, but they're not that stupid to fly that low and nosedive like that.
I don't know, man. I've seen AI miss the runway and crash before.
Well, what this person's doing right here, that's definitely. Oh, that's somebody in an F-18, of course. Disregard them; they don't matter.
Rude. There could be F-18s at JFK, no?
I have never in my life heard of that.
Were you alive
But
in
it's
September 11th?
that's an emergency situation. Like, there's never gonna be.
Never say never. No, I wouldn't fucking open your mouth that. Like, who knows, man?
No, honestly, there's never gonna be F-18s casually flying
Oh,
around JFK.
I don't know. Maybe Trump will get his military parade.
Oh God. Oh hey, just realized that this person next to me, well, this plane that parked here next to me is actually a player. Because I know one thing I've never seen is like the AI once they get to the gate call for services, like ground services. So that has to be a player. Let me see what that. I was gonna say who's up at 2 in the morning playing 2K, but technically 2 in the morning playing Microsoft Flight Sims. People still play Red Dead Redemption 2. I wouldn't even touch that shit.
Oh, I'm starting to get worried that I missed this island. I can't see shit.
Shit. How the fuck do you fuck that up, Apple? Please explain that. You charged my card for. This makes no sense. What?
I'm super confident that I've botched my attempt to like waypoint over this island. So I'm going to set my inbound frequency and hope I pick it up eventually. 12.9.
What? let's park in a ramp, small ramp, ramp, small. These are gates. I mean, ramp, damn it. Somewhere I can start my beechcraft. Well, let's start over here. I just forgot. Let's do it. What we got here? PC6. The Beechcraft came in at 350. Let's go with that.
Man, I was so careful to try and find this island.
The clouds were not in your favor.
No, I mean, I guess not. I sure hope I pick up that VOR frequency when I reach the mainland of the Philippines. Well, the mainland of the Philippines didn't seem to make a lot of sense, but when I reach the shore, otherwise I'm super lost for the first time in my around the world journey.
Gets lost at 2 a.m. with no way home.
Right. Like, I can be fairly confident of where along the shoreline I will come in contact, right? But, I haven't been deviating from my heading a lot, if at all, so...
I mean, to be fair, worst comes to worst, hopefully you're in a plane that can land on the beach.
I'm less concerned about fuel. I just need to be able to find an airport, really, but,
Jesus Christ, I'm at 651. It's still dark. I have no idea how to tell. Wipers are not like they work, but still. You know, that's one thing I actually kind of am annoyed by. You put the ability for the animation on the wipers, but not the animation for them wiping away the rain. Seems like a big misstep to me.
do you realize what that change would require?
Probably more bugs.
Well, it's the water you see on your windshield is nothing more than a texture, right? So in order for the water on your windshield to be affected by the geometry of your windshield wipers, it would have to no longer be a texture anymore. So they would have to either code a new texture animation so that it wiped away, which would be an option, but would require some like tricky timing, or they would have to make the water a physical thing, and then that's a whole other beast. Like, you're running into performance issues and all that fucking bullshit, right?
Well, you know, I'm looking at it right now, and it's definitely animated, that's for sure.
Yeah, like, you can have animated textures, no question about that. But to I think the best they could have done would be to like somehow align a texture transition to match with the animation of the windshield wipers, but
Which they've technically done, because if say you're in like for me, I do airlines. When I took off from Munich, I had it set to rain, and as I sped up, obviously, the direction of the water. Well, I don't know if you have my phone, but pretty much the basic thing is you're going one way. The movement of the water is going the opposite way. You can actually see like the stream of water, like moving in the direction.
yeah, I get what you're saying. It's pretty speculative on both our parts to even understand how it's currently implemented. Like, for all I
Yeah.
know, that texture and the movement of the water rivulets is directly related to the wind or the direction of the wind that your aircraft is passing over, right? Or and
Be that.
if that's the case, like you would have to simulate that the windshield wipers are like gusts of wind.
Yeah. I have no idea. What the fuck am I looking for?
It would certainly be a nice like immersion thing, though. Like I can't argue that if someone put in the effort, I wouldn't be mad.
Like, when it comes to water, that's really the only thing that's missing is that.
I would like to see like the water pick up behind your aircraft if you're really close to the water. I would like to see that kind of stuff.
No, that would require a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Arguably, I would say it's probably would require the same thing. Or alternatively, like it may be easier to do it with water because they've already got similar systems in place. Like you'll kick up dirt if you're on a dirt runway, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
So like all you would have to do is have those systems detect when you're a certain distance above the water and then kick up a certain texture or a particle effect.
Yeah. Makes sense. Break set. Let me make sure Dumbass isn't standing in front of the.
Yeah, we 100% missed this island.
Why an A38? Why is American at the international terminal?
It's America's number one. They do what they want.
American, you have your whole terminal to yourself. Matter of fact, you have two. You have two terminals at LAX. Go back to your own terminal. I guess this thing doesn't. What the fuck? Besides a battery switch. Wait. Center display. There should be another switch somewhere for that. Or not. Maybe there just is. And I'm just thinking. There it is.
It would be pretty catastrophic for my journey if I missed this island and for some reason my inbound VOR frequency didn't pick up. I would officially have Amelia Earharted myself, I think.
Well, I successfully started the. Why the fuck is it Sash? Bullshit. I was probably supposed to set that higher. Let's set this to bottom.
dang clouds did me in, I think. What'd you say?
Oh, I was just checking to see if I forgot anything when starting up this King Air.
Where are you,
Not King, Beechcraft.
where are you flying in the Beechcraft?
I'm just flying around. No idea where I'm actually going. I'm just gonna fly around. Let's double check.
It would be cool if air-to-air TACAN worked properly. I could have you load up at an airport and I'll tune to your frequency so I could find you.
Yeah, that would be good. I'm not ignoring it. I'm just trying to double check to make sure all this is done right. One, stand by. All right. Ignition can come off. Oh, it fully stopped with raining. That's intriguing. There's no point in having that shit on.
I guess it's always possible that I was bad at estimating the range of this leg, but I mean, I've done several legs of this distance before.
Oh, maybe it was just a, like you said. Let's see everything. Let's turn on beacon. Tail flood for the fuck of it. Nav. Text. Turn on the- That's better. Here's what could be deltas. Why are the deltas at the? What's a delta A320? So delta 73 next to delta A320 next to a delta A350 that shouldn't even be possible. I'm thinking maybe these are stored from COVID time, so.
Oh god.
Whatever.
I got distracted by someone in Twitch chat asking me if I want to be famous, and I veered off heading a tiny bit.
Excuse me, A350, but I'll be going under your wing. You are parked in a very odd spot. What's this right here? This appears to be... Oh yeah, Hawaiian A330. Ah, American. Said fuck the rules and just took over the international channel. I should probably turn off those DC units. Those don't need to be on. So let's... Oh, 737. Japan. Damn, we're the only one parked over there? That sucks.
Seeing that island was supposed to break this flight up a little bit, in terms of just like a straight line flight, it's like nearly 430 nautical miles of straight over water, which is exceptionally boring.
Yeah, that's worse than flying at 30-some thousand feet over land. At least you can still see something if you're flying over mountains. Oh, hey, Spirit, the shittiest airline ever.
Ryanair has something to say to you.
I don't know. Some people who live over there have said they aren't really bad at their service. Their landings just suck.
I mean, they're pretty bad, man. You can get their flights start at like 13 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, like literally 13 pounds. And then as you add extras, they can suddenly cost more than like a flight on Lufthansa. and
Oh,
they often
oh,
don't even get gates to load up at. Like you have to load up via stairs, and you usually need a bus to get to your airplane. Like these are the reasons why Ryanair sucks,
I don't even know if I'd feel comfortable flying on a flight that cheap.
right? Like they cut corners and save money everywhere. Like the safety cards that you have in your seats, they're they're like stickers on the back of the seat in front of you rather than being a card that they would have to replace, right?
Well, shit.
And you get to spend your whole flight listening to them trying to sell you like perfume and shit. Like they basically advertise stuff during the flight the whole time.
Sounds about right. If you think about it, at least their low cost airline is actually technically low cost if you don't add anything extra. Here, our low cost really isn't really that low cost.
Your extras start with like really low things though. Like you can $13 will get you on the aircraft, right? If you don't have any baggage or anything like that at all.
Yeah,
That's the I'm a stranded teenager that ran away from home and I need to get back home price. Like,
that is a very steep takeoff. You're gonna stall, and you just did.
were you talking to yourself or
Oh no, that was another player just stalled. I guess they tried to take a 7-4 on a vertical takeoff. Didn't go well for them.
they were trying to pull off an unrestricted climb, but they just couldn't do it?
Yeah, I mean that would no doubt work if you're not fully loaded, but the way that thing stalled looked like they had a full load, fuel and passengers. Hey, Prime Air, forgot about that. Is it up to? No, that's in Japan.
They prefer to be called Asian American.
Let's As we get down at the end of the gates, there is a very out of place Japan Airlines 787. The fuck they're all the way over here.
Maybe
But
they're
imagine
lost like me.
or maybe it's in storage. We don't know. It's just there. Or is the one jackass that spawns on the runway and just sits there looking like a retard?
He's doing his pre-flight checks. You're so mad at people who spawn on runways.
Man, well, I don't really care if you spawn on a runway. Just if you're gonna spawn, be ready to take off.
I would, I don't know, man. I would just like, I would better understand your rage. Oh, I picked up my VOR. Fuck yes. I would better understand your rage if it affected you in any way. Just like pretend they don't exist. Turn traffic off. Like do whatever. Oh, that makes me
But
happy. I'm not even too far off course. I'm a little bit south, but I'm 129 miles out, and I picked her up, so I'm officially not lost.
at least collisions on it, man. Oh dear God, if these collisions aren't a thing.
Part of me wishes collisions were a thing, just to like up the realism.
Do you know how many people that would piss off because they're the ignorant fucks?
Sure, but by the same volition, the ignorant fucks would probably be the ones that get tired of it and just stop playing after a while. like, or
Valid point.
or again, just like give me the option, like let me turn it on and off. That's not a problem, right? We do that for crash detection. I'm okay if it just affects me.
Damn it! I should have bought that mouse. I forgot to buy it. Oh well, I'll do it next time. Never.
All right, I was a little bit off course. I think I adjusted my heading too soon or something because I'm pretty far south.
Shadows, damn it! There we go. God damn it! I forgot what I set all my buttons to. Okay, that's that. That's that. What's this? Oh, that's taxi lights. We don't need those on anymore. These are logo. Okay. Here's that. So, let's move this over a bit. There we go.
I would give anything to not work today.
I think a lot of people would actually. So, you know.
I mean, it's not completely true, right? Like, if that were true, then I would just quit. Because the things that I would be giving up are my house and my ability to feed myself.
Valid point.
So there's definitely a limit to what I would give up to not work today, but it's a lot. I would pay my day's wage to not work today, right?
Fair enough.
Entry 42, you are not cleared to take on.
You want to quit, tell me what the fuck to do, man. Just
'Just going to adjust my heading to match the direction to the VOR rather than adjusting my deviation from my existing heading to match the VOR. Should get me there faster that way. $104 out.
your autopilot screen doesn't work, but who cares? You don't need autopilot when you're in the seat. We're in a piston aircraft, do we?
Autopilot's for people who don't know how to fly airplanes.
Autopilot is only good for one thing: cruising for 12 hours.
Bathroom breaks.
I don't think I'd be too keen to hand fly for 12 hours straight.
I don't know, man. It depends on how well you get trimmed out, right? Like, I'm technically hand flying right now, but I don't have to touch my controller at all. I like adjust my heading with a single finger every now and then. Throw on a
Fair
YouTube video. You do run the risk of like deviating. Like, it's not the most efficient way to fly, I always take longer than I should. Like if I was on autopilot, it would my flights would be shorter because they would be more efficient, right? But
Yeah.
that's the trade-off.
It's LAX back there. Make this right hand turn.
Not really sure where exactly I should be heading after I arrive in the Philippines, if I'm honest. I I have to map out the next couple legs of my trek here.
Up, there we go. There's the runway.
Man, I feel so ignorant. The island of Borneo. I know Borneo. They did a Survivor season there.
Hello, LAX. And other plane flying over LAX. I watched an Air China fall out of the sky the other day when I was going from, I think it was London back to Philadelphia.
Wait, what? You watched Air China fall out of the sky?
Yep, I don't know who was flying it, but I mean it wasn't a generic. It was a actual player. Looks like they were fucking up on landing, and well, they definitely they ate it for sure.
That's funny.
I'm just looking at them like they were going back and forth. Looked like they were stalling, but they just weren't putting in power to bring themselves out of it. And they just flat spun, and then that was that.
Oh, it's Manila. Okay, I'm familiar with Manila.
Had to offer my passengers some counseling. We got on the ground.
Counseling.
I mean, shit, you need something after seeing that.
You in line.
I wonder how the passengers and shit of that Alaska flight, that's how that Alaskan flight went down felt. I think it was like an Alaskan MD-80 or something. Damn it, stop floating.
Now that we're properly aligned with the VOR's frequency, I'm just going to adjust my heading to match 222.
wonder if the King Air could make it out of Luke. Probably.
Seems like it might be tough, yeah.
The TBM can make it out, but just barely. It's one of those things. You could do it if you needed to, but it's not recommended.
The Piper Arrow 3 is not good at making it out. That's what I could say.
I was like, you know, this from experience.
Yeah, I took off from Lukla, and then I realized I was twice my ceiling, my operating ceiling, and I slowly fell into the valley below.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
Way too high. I'm just gonna park over here next to the ship. Holy shit, just killed somebody.
Rip.
The fucking service dude just walked right in front of the engines. I guess he said he was done with it. He was over with it. He just couldn't take it anymore.
I fucking hate this job.
I fucking hate it here. I live in Los Angeles. Everything's expensive. You know what? Fuck this.
What a way to go, right? Like, how frustrated would you have to be with your life to be like, all right, the nearest propeller. Like,
right, the nearest propeller, the nearest engine, I'm just going to jump into. You have to be to a point where you just give, like, absolutely no fucks. I get it. Stop beeping at me. All I did was turn on the parking brake. Jesus. Unless you want to roll into a building. Arrange that, too.
alright, I've mapped out a lot more legs of my journey now.
Okay, I selected fuel cutoff. Why are you still running? Did I miss something here? Fuel cutoff. Selected. The starters aren't on. Did I forget something? Did I not pull them all the way down? Oh, I didn't. That's what it is.
There's your problem.
Yeah, it would. There we go. Jesus Christ, you get mad at everything. I shut the engines down. You bing. I put on my parking brake. You bing. Why you bing so much? Oh, hey, this has an interior. That's a pretty nice interior, too. I went to King Air. They're known for having pretty good interiors. A pretty good cabin. Yes. That's a nice JetBlue one. Was that A320? Yeah, that's A320. Alright, well, I'm gonna try to get some more sleep before the sun tries to poke its ugly head over the horizon.
I always leave myself muted. Cool, man. I got 32 miles now before I put down and then probably take a break.
Or the
See you around. Strange to me that this deviator keeps pushing left. I seem to always be left of this, so we must have a stiff wind coming from our south. I'm sorry, it would be a stiff wind coming from our north. We can finally see the shore of the Philippines here. About 15 miles out, so we're going to request clearance in just a moment. Don't need to be climbing like a lunatic. Pulled back a little bit there. Romeo Papa Lima, India.
Laoag Tower EQS 04213 miles northwest, 3,300 feet to land.
EQS 042 Laoag Tower. Altimeter tree 0.00 at 10. Fly left downwind runway 01.
Fly left downwind runway 01 EQS 042.
It's pretty much the first time I have ever adjusted my altimeter. I'm very rarely finding myself landing in IFR conditions anyway, so I usually just see the ground. Oh, it's closer than this. Speed brake out. And just, we have a lot of wind. Wind 053 at 10. I mean, I guess 10 isn't that bad.
EQS 042 and 053 at 10. Cleared to land runway 01.
Cleared to land runway 01 EQS 042.
I enjoy using the lift generated by my flaps to pull me around that corner. Gear down. Yeah, we got a bit of a moderate headwind here that we can feel. Pull back. Floaty, floaty, floaty. There we go.
EQS 042 exit. Runway was able.
And we're down. Not sure if there are any like proper taxiways here. Never know what to expect. I mean, it's an international airport. It's got a heck of a runway. I've got to assume there's a place to park over here.
EQS 042. Turn next taxiway.
Maybe parking's over here. There's our new blinds.
EQS 042 exit. Runway was able. EQS 042 contact ground on 118.1.
Going to 118.1 EQS 042. Laoag ground EQS 042 taxi to parking. EQS 042 taxi to general aviation parking by taxiway. Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway EQS 042.
Tower. There seems to be a goddamn van in my parking spot. What a dickhead. Whatevs. And there we be. We made it to the Philippines. So from here, I did say that I'd mapped out a bit of our next legs. And by a bit, I mean quite a bit. So we've landed here in Laoag. We're going to kind of just snake our way down these islands, stopping in, you know, Manila is on here somewhere, etc., etc. The intent is to kind of skirt the eastern side of this island chain and then come down this way actually into New Zealand, because I want New Zealand to be our launching point to jump into Australia. Then we'll take a look at, you know, Sydney and a few big places here. Probably go all the way to Perth before jumping up to see, you know, Alice Springs and Uluru, and then heading back up north here into you know, India, Nepal, etc., etc. So that's my plan, and that will take quite a while. But for now, we're going to take a bit of a break, of course. I've got 2 3/4 hours before real life comes crashing down. So maybe I'll do another leg or two, but we will see. I hope to see some people join if I do start up again today. Otherwise, I will continue on tomorrow. You can always find VODs of this on my YouTube channel.